Basketball tryouts are now just weeks away. I'm Josh, and today I'll break down the best tips and strategies you can use to make your basketball team this year. First thing I want to mention is that tryouts are not guaranteed. So you can work really hard during the off season, put in a lot of effort, and still not make the team. There's not a certain amount of effort or work required to make a team. And I also want to bring up that there are other players who might not be as skilled as you who might make the team. So with those two things out of the way, let's get down into the actual strategies that can help you make the team. Step number one to making the team is even preparing for tryouts. So we have to take a few months back before tryouts even begin, and that's when your school team workouts start. This could include conditioning or nightly practices where you're learning plays you're going to use in your upcoming season. Be sure to attend as many of these workouts as you can. You want to get your eyes in front of the coach and impress him. Depending on what level of basketball you're playing, there are some kind of requirements and things that coaches are going to start to look for as we get closer to tryouts. At the youth level, can you dribble with both hands? Can you give effort? Can you have a good attitude? And do you communicate with your other teammates? At the high school level, coaches will look for, do you have a high basketball IQ? Do you know when to make the right reads, the right passes, and when to be aggressive for yourself? Are you good at solving basketball problems? Do you know when to push the ball, what offense to run, what the plays even are? Have you memorized the plays? That's a big one too. Do you have a good work ethic? And are you a team player? There is no I in team. Do you share the ball when it's the right time to share the ball and be aggressive and attack when it's your turn to score? Leading up to tryouts, are you familiar with the coach? Does the coach know your name? Have you had a good relationship with him and talked to him in the past? Have you expressed your interest in trying out for the team this upcoming year? Here are some personal questions you can ask. First one, are you good with the fundamentals of basketball? Are you able to dribble like we said with both hands? Shoot with a good shot form? Are we lifting correctly when we're in the weight room? Doing all the proper and basic things really well and excelling at them is what your coach is looking for. This next one could make or break your admission to making the basketball team. And that's, are you coachable? Do you do what you think is best for yourself, or do you listen to what the coach gives and his feedback? If he tells you to do a certain move here or to act this way in a certain drill, do you just listen to yourself, or can, even if the coach is not right, do you still try to show the coach that I listen to you, and in a game and when I'm on the roster, I will do the same? So now tryouts have finally arrived, and there's a few key things you want to do to maximize your chances of making the team. The first two are super important. You want to make sure that you're arriving on time and that you're getting in a proper warm-up. Please don't be that player that arrives 5 minutes late or just as tryouts start. Not only do you have to throw on your shoes, now you're stressed and your stress levels are higher, which means on top of the nerves you feel, it's going to be really hard for you to perform at your best. Here are two simple things that a lot of players get wrong about tryouts. The first one is that they forget to attend all days. Listen, I've had a friend in the past who went to day one of tryouts and then missed the second day. And if you miss the second day of tryouts, the odds of getting on the team are not very high. So please go to both days of tryouts. And the second thing is a lot of youth or younger players come into the tryout and are like, I'm going to show off every skill that in existence. But remember, stick to what you do best. So many players and coaches say it. Trust me, it's great advice. Just go in and do what you do best. If you're a shooter, run the court. Get open, knock down shots. And if you're not a dribbler, don't try to be Kyrie Irving or the world's best ball handler in that room. Stick to what you do best, and the coach will pick up on what you do best and excel at. A big question I had when I was a kid, and others have asked me, is, Josh, what do I do if I'm nervous in a tryout? First things first, take a deep breath. Everything's gonna be okay, right? These are basketball tryouts. Thousands of kids go through the same exact feeling as you. Remember that you're even excited for basketball tryouts. You're not really nervous. You care about basketball. You care about the tryouts. And guess how much hard work you've put in? A lot. So take all that into consideration and remember how excited you are for this big day. Other than the stretching in the beginning of tryouts, I wish I knew as a kid some of the drills I was going to encounter during tryouts. And here's exactly what I have prepared for you. I'm going to list the 5 drills that you might see over the course of the tryout, and in this description of the video, I'm going to put links to YouTube videos that have helped me learn them and can help explain them to you. So that when you get into the tryout, you can just go into the drills, excel, do well, and make the team. Here's the 5 drills. First one is going to be a 3 or a 5-man weave. So this is going to involve a lot of passing and moving and also some defense on the way back. Second one, big defensive drill. It's called the shell defense drill. Be sure to learn this one. Third, obviously at one point you're going to encounter 5v5 basketball. You're going to have to play in a full court situation where you can score, defend, and play as a teammate. Fourth drill is one-on-one situations. Can you stop another player with no help defense? And can you score on that player with no teammates to pass to? Fifth drill is conditioning. At some point during the tryout, you're gonna be doing a lot of running, so make sure you're in great shape so you don't get tired easily during tryouts. Here's an awesome bonus tactic that you need to add to your tryout routine. All you have to do a few days before is open up a new note on your phone. Now, what you want to do is label every single basketball player who made the team the previous year. If you're in 7th or 11th grade, obviously those 8th and 12th grade players will be moving on to high school and now college respectively, right? So we know those players are not going to be returning to our roster. Now label some of the players that you think might make the team. If you've been going to workouts, you notice this kid over here has a really good shot, he's really talented, can make the team. Put his name on the list. If you know typically the average basketball team will be around 11 to 13 or 14 spots. If you know and you have friends who are going to be remaking the team this year, let's say that takes up 7 spots, and then there's 12 spots on the team, you know that you have to be one of the best 5 players left at tryouts. And you also know who your competition is. If you have a tryout of 20 kids and only 12 can make the team, you know you have to be one of the top 12. You are now fully prepared for basketball tryouts, but if you do make the team, let me bring your caution to one thing. There are some untold basketball secrets that your coach and other players might not tell you, and you can learn those in this video here.